I found two 8mm movie films, so along with the slides, I put together a videotape. We begin in Juneau, Alaska in 1962. Your dad went up to visit Grandma and Grandpa in Juneau, and Aunt Jean and Uncle Perry in Anchorage while recovering from his back surgery. The film quality is not very good, but after all, it is almost 30 years old, so I guess it's the best we can expect. These are the snow-capped mountains above Juneau, and the Mendenhall Glacier is alongside. At the base of the mountains, Juneau is nestled. You cannot drive into Juneau. There are no roads. The only way you can get there is by air or by water. This is 1962, Christmas on Nemai Road. There's Mike, Penny hiding under the table, Amy Jo, Debbie, Cynthia, Mike, and Audrey and Uncle Bob and Grandma joined us for that Christmas. Penny has a new dolly. Penny and Debbie had red dresses alike. These at one time were Amy Jo and Cynthia's dresses. Here's Grandma and Penny, Uncle Bob, and Audrey, and your dad. Penny and Debbie evidently got new pajamas for Christmas. Mike, Pete, Mark, Penny, and Debbie. Must have been maybe a year or so later. Penny looks a little older. Mike coming from the Baptist Church in Etna, Amy Jo. And here everybody is all dressed up in their good clothes and their Easter bonnets. Mike in his shirt and suit and tie. Must have been a cold, chilly day. Wind is blowing. Mike's standing there shivering. Here's Penny with her hat off on the side. Amy Jo and Cynthia. Big sister, little sister. There's the whole family. Prophet Wise, the first cult of wise prophecy, who came from Chuck Lent originally. Prophet Wise looks to be about a yearling here. He went on to win the first New York Sire Stakes at Canandaigua Raceway. Uncle Dan is chasing him up and down to show us how he can travel. There's Penny walking down the driveway. Back to Prophet Wise. Cynthia. Mike. Debbie. Amy Jo. Mike. Mark. And Jumper. There's Penny. Pete bouncing up. No, that's Mark bouncing up and down. And now Pete runs across. There's Debbie. Cynthia's going to throw the football at Mike. And Mike's going to throw it right back at her. Here's Uncle Dan. He's going to do a little dance for the camera. And then I'm sure everyone remembers the long jump competition. And here's your dad doing his long jump. And Uncle Dan doing his. I'm not sure who jumped the farthest. Here's Saucy Look. Must have been a cold, breezy day then. Cynthia's all dressed up. Warm clothes. Saucy didn't find much grass there for chewing on. She certainly was a big mare. Great big feet. Watch out, Cynthia, she doesn't step on your toes. Here's Dad doing some mowing. Mike must be looking for things that might come in the way of the mower. Here's Penny doing a somersault. Nice somersault, Penny. There's a kitty and a picnic lunch. Cynthia. Amy Jo taking a mouthful. Debbie looks like she lost some teeth. Cynthia got some sunglasses. It's easier to look at the camera through sunglasses. Here's Saucy Look and Aurora's Princess. Princess wasn't very old then. Her legs are long and she's quite wobbly. There's Amos in the background. Now we come to the slides. This is Rainbow Mountain on the drive from Fairbanks to Valdez. And Sugarloaf Mountain in Valdez. A fishing boat tied up at one of the docks there at Valdez. And another shot of Rainbow Mountain. It really doesn't show off. It's a beautiful mountain, very colorful. Fairbanks always had a winter carnival with float parade. And this is the princess of the parade, another shot of her. Along with the parade, they had dog races. All of the dog sled teams from the area came to compete. It was a very keen competition and a great spectator sport. Everybody enjoyed watching it. Winter Carnival was a highlight of the year. A pretty view of the mountains and the water and the pine trees. Another shot of Juneau must have been taken back in 1962 when your dad was there. A fishing boat at low tide. A lot of fishing boats tied up at the marina. Another shot of Juneau, nestled there at the base of the mountain. Looks like a pretty good sized city. Trailers were loaded down in the States and brought up by ship to be distributed throughout Alaska behind the tractors. A pretty sunset. Another shot of a pretty sunset with the dark clouds and the pine trees. Mac was the worker, caretaker for Uncle Cecil's mining claims up in Rampart, north of Fairbanks. It's the trailer that he lived in. Here, he and another local yokel are outside the trailer having lunch. Your dad spent part of one summer up in Rampart working the claims. Here he is on a bulldozer. He had a wonderful time. Uncle Cecil with his float plane. He has a fish there. Was Grandma's Westbrook's oldest brother, and here's Max, Grandma's youngest brother. Max was at one time the mayor of Valdez and still lives there. We went down to Valdez for Grace, Max's daughter's christening. Grandma and Grandpa Westbrook were the godparents. It was in the Episcopal Church. Grandma Wells in the dark dress, Grandma Westbrook in the white dress, Betty and her little girl Grace, Perry in his plane that he flew all over Alaska. Your dad was up there early in the year that we all went up. Shows how deep the snow was then. Here he is with Aunt Ann and Uncle Dan's dog. Uncle Dan in front of Grandma and Grandpa's house on Bentley Island. Susan, David, Mark Wells, Grandpa and Grandma Westbrook, Jean and Perry in the background. Grandma Wells is sitting there at the table. Mark Signor and Sakti, the Siamese cat. We had a picnic at a friend's cabin. There's Grandma Wells, Grandma Westbrook, Cynthia, Mike, Amy Jo, and I. Your dad and Aunt Ann were cutting the watermelon. Looks like a long blade on that knife. Your dad and Mike at our house on Bentley Island. These were new homes, and we never did have a lawn, mostly mud. Here's Mike all dressed up. Your dad and I in front of our house on Bentley Island. Here's our little family. Mike with Shadow, the black dog, on his lap, and Cynthia and Amy Jo sitting on the steps by the house. Amy Jo had a tricycle and gave Mike a ride on the back. You can see what the lawn looked like. Nothing but weeds, and here they are having a little dip in the pool. This also is Bentley Island and Fairbanks. Now we go to Grandma's house on Lincoln Street. This was after we came back from Fairbanks. Mike and Amy Jo at Cuga Lake. We went to visit Uncle Bob and Aunt Audrey at their cottage, and here they are on the dock enjoying the sunshine. Your dad with Mike and Amos. Cynthia, Amy Jo, Mike. Must have been chilly weather. Snowsuits, snow pants, and coats on. Here I am showing off my parka that we brought back with us from Fairbanks. Nemai Road. We moved there May 1st, 1956. This must have been soon after we moved. And the barn, and the silo, alongside of it. We had a lot of animals on the farm. Here's our Rhode Island red chickens. And Molly and Little Black Sambo. I didn't used to milk. Your dad used to milk Molly. I never did figure that one out. Here's one of the beef cattle. I don't remember his name. And Bullet, our Gordon setter. Here's your dad on Alice Chalmers, coming out of the bottom door of the barn, showing how deep the snow was that winter. Your dad with Amos, and the cute little beagle puppy. And everybody remembers Cody, I'm sure. Mike and Amy Jo. And sunbathing. Must have been a lot warmer weather then. The leaves are out. Sunsuits on. Here's Mike all dressed up. Cynthia and Amy Jo with their Easter bonnets. Looks like a windy, breezy day. Here's Mike again. And Debbie has joined the three older kids. She's got her little hat on and her coat. Amy Jo. Cynthia. And Cynthia, Amy Jo, and Debbie. Debbie is in her stroller. She used to really buzz around the house in that stroller. This must have been in the spring of 1957 when she was 9 or 10 months old. She's not very happy in this picture. On a blanket with her bonnet and her coat on. Here, Patty Cake. She has her little purse on the tray of the stroller. Two little farm girls with their cowboy hats on. And Debbie with a happy smile. Looks like it's a little warmer weather then. Debbie and Amy Jo. And another shot of sunbathing. Debbie didn't really want to sit there by the looks of her face. Now this picture I put in just so everyone could see the laundry that went along with the family. Looks like it was taken just for the laundry. Here's Debbie with a happy face in her sunsuit. And Amy Jo, Dad, and Debbie. I'm sorry my sequence of slides is not better than it is. I did these without a projector and it just didn't come out very well. Debbie sitting on a pot there in the living room. In the background you'll see the chair that I just had reupholstered. White Church Road. Must have been in the spring of the year. Here everyone is out in the garden, getting ready to dig it up and plant the garden. Debbie sitting on the steps there at White Church Road. Debbie and Tigger. Tigger doesn't look very happy, sitting up kind of straight with kind of a mad look. Debbie loved all these animals that came along. Here she is petting him with Amy Jo watching. Uncle Dan just finished shoveling snow off the walk. Your dad got a deer, hung it in Grandpa's garage. Amy Jo and Mike are looking at it. There's Mike standing alongside his dad with a cowboy hat in his hand. Mike and Mark and Rick Bowman are going to play a game of badminton. And everybody loved to ride on Alice or in the trailer behind. And here's Rick Bowman, Amy Jo, and Tommy Bowman in the trailer. Rick's going to try driving it. And your dad decided he would give them a ride in the trailer. Danny and Ann and Pete, when they first came back from Alaska, they stayed with us for a little while. Here's your dad with Penny looking bright-eyed. Now here she's gone to sleep in front of the television or the record player. I don't know which put her to sleep. Penny was very active. She walked before she was 10 months old. Looks like she's ready to shake off there. She is with her nightcap and her little pajamas with the pom-pom on the front. Debbie, Mike, Amy Jo, Cynthia, just like steps. In a closer shot, looks like Debbie's only half in this picture. Lynn Marie, Amy Jo, Cynthia in the back with their dollies, Debbie and Penny in the front. Amos joined the group in Debbie's arms, and Penny wasn't happy about this at all. A nice family picture. Uncle Selden, Uncle Gene, Aunt Audrey, and at Grandma's house. Great-Grandma Westbrook and David in front of her on Nemai Road. And here's a group it must have been for Grandma Westbrook's birthday. There's Amy Jo with the kitty, and I'm holding Debbie, Aunt Jean, Mike, David, Cynthia, Mark, Aunt Ann, and Uncle Dan, and your dad in the front. This is a picture that was taken at Chuck and Jean's. I put it in just so you could see Grandma Wells there at the end of the table, Aunt Charlotte on the left, Chuck on the right. And we're growing up fast. We certainly have a nice looking family, at least I think so. This must have been taken along at the same time that the movie was taken, 1962. And Pete and Gladys's baby Pepita, Mike, Penny, and Debbie. Must be on North Street Extension, Cynthia and Amy Jo and Mike. And I'm ignoring Penny and Debbie having a wrestling match there. It's the best way to do with that, I guess. And Penny, and Cynthia, and I think it's Amy Jo alongside. Here's Mike holding Tony on his lap. It must have been around Christmas time. The nativity scene is in the background. Cynthia had a birthday around Easter. Got an Easter bunny. Playing foosball. Cousin Eddie, Fishhook, Cynthia, and Debbie. Cynthia with her bunny. Got a good-sized carrot there. Debbie with her pretty prom dress. And Penny looking lovely in her prom dress. And notice my Hummel pictures on the wall behind her. Your dad with Tony on his lap, and Debbie, and the Easter Bunny. And there's poor Brandy. She looks so sad, all dressed up. And Debbie and Brandy sitting there on the steps. And Penny at graduation time. Doug Payne, a photographer in my department, took these pictures. His nephew must have been graduating at the same time. And he went over to Dryden and happened to take these two of Penny and gave them to me. Your dad admiring his tuxedo. Amy Jo and Tim's wedding. And Debbie was a bridesmaid at this wedding. These are the only two slides that I happen to have of their wedding. I thought maybe you might enjoy seeing what it looked like when I first started working for the Conservation or Natural Resources Department, as it's called now. I was a department secretary, and Dr. Webster was the chairman. His office was on the other side of the bulletin board there behind me. This was a group going out for a Christmas lunch, and Grandma Westbrook worked there at the time. She's the fourth from the left with the glasses. And I went to the fish weigh when they were weighing and fin clipping the fish. And yuck, I hit a whole one. Christmas party on the third floor of the building. Jean Maygosh and Barbara Kirk next to me. I think we had fondue. Bill Youngs was a Santa Claus that year. There's Grandma in the plaid dress with the glasses. And a group picture. I'm on the left with Grandma next to me. Helping Grandma Ball cook. Aunt Mary Lou, Uncle Selden, Debbie, and I'm standing there supervising. Uncle Selden, Grandpa, Grandma, Aunt Amy, the only slide I could find with them in. Not a very good one. Where our first racehorse was Victor Reynolds. Bob Perry raced him at Troy, Pennsylvania Fair. He had post position 3, but it didn't help. He didn't do very well. There's Mike on the left. Andy C., Bob Leonard's horse. Probably everybody remembers him. Yankee Chico, a matinee at the Trumansburg Fairgrounds. Debbie driving Wynn Express, or Beaver as he was called, at this same matinee. And here's Debbie on the outside and your dad on the inside. Looks like they're coming home. The C.E. Westbrook Memorial Race at the Trumansburg Fairgrounds. Mike and Dill Gallo had the post position 1. On the back side, behind the starting gate, Andy Reese was our starter. On the first half, Dill Gallo led by half a horse length. And coming home, Dill Gallo won the race. Michael and Dilly in the winner's circle. Presenting the trophy cooler, your dad. And the trophy cooler, C.E. Westbrook Memorial Race, Trumansburg Fairgrounds. Spectators for that race were Toots, Tim, Amy Jo, and Jerry Bodas in front of them. Gamblin' Annie. I wish I could have found slides or pictures of Wild Card, but I couldn't come up with anything. And this is Yankee Chico, and I hope you have all enjoyed my Christmas gift for you.